Vítam vás na tlačovej konferencii spoločnosti BNP PARIBAS Personal Finance pobočka zahraničnej banky. Možno vás v minulosti poznáte ako Cetelem, je to síce ešte naša obchodná značka, ale transformovali sme sa medzi tým na pobočku zahraničnej banky, tak toto je tá veľká zmena, ktorá sa udiala, odkedy sme sa naposledy videli. Dovoľte, aby som privítala všetkých vás, ale aj našich významných hostí. Aby som začala zľava, je to Pascal Roussarie, ktorý je riaditeľom obchodu a marketingu pre celý región stredoeurópsky. Ďalším prezentátorom bude Nicolas Diacono, ktorý je expertom na technologické trendy a myslím, že jeho prezentácia vás veľmi zaujíma. A týmto predávam slovo Miguelovi Pereirovi, ktorý je vedúcim pobočky zahraničnej banky na Slovensku.
So, good morning everyone. I will do it in English. I'm really sorry. I hope the translation will work very well. Thank you very much to be here today with us. I have my colleagues Pascal and Nicolas. I think you have already translated in Slovak. They will share with us the 2017 Observatoire Cetelem. This document is economic research that the group implemented in 1985, if I don't have any mistake. It exists today in 13 countries in Europe. The main focus is on automobile markets and on consumption households in Europe. And it has become a point of reference for partners and key players in all those markets. For us, it's a very important document to better understand and anticipate consumption trends and client behavior. As you certainly know, Cetelem is in Slovakia since 2000. Since July 2016, we became a BNP PARIBAS Personal Finance French branch. So we are now a bank since middle of 2016. Such transformation in bank is and was very important. It's part of our strategic plan to continue to believe and to grow in Slovakia, a country that we have observed in last years a very significant economic growth, starting by the impressive GDP growth. So let's listen my colleagues to go deeper on this very interesting study. And thank you again to be here with us.
Okay. Thank you very much, Miguel. Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be here at Bratislava this morning for two main reasons. The first one, because I remember when I was head of Observatoire Cetelem many years ago, I used to come to Bratislava and to present our surveys. It was in French. Tomorrow it will be in English. And so many thanks to the translator. If you don't understand my English, you can stop me. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult, don't hesitate to stop me. So it's the first reason. The second one is because we decided to move our regional team from Paris to Bratislava. I'm currently head of sales and marketing. And Central Europe for BNP PARIBAS Personal Finance is Slovakia, Czech Republic, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria and Romania. And it's easier for us to work from Bratislava because it's easy to go to Vienna, it's easy to go to Budapest, it's easy to go to Prague. And so we decided to move from Paris to Bratislava. And so, as you know, BNP PARIBAS Personal Finance is #1 in consumer finance in Europe. We have strong ambition in Central Europe. And so now we decided to move to Bratislava. So it was the second reason, and I'm really happy to be in Bratislava before the end of the year. This morning we will speak about l'Observatoire Cetelem very fast because you will see there are a lot of figures, a lot of data. It's really difficult to register everything, even for me, and so you will have at the end of the presentation a USB key and you will find every information about the survey. So the first part is l'Observatoire Cetelem. The second part will be l'Echangeur with Nicolas Diacono. You will see amazing topics, amazing things coming from all over the world. Nicolas went to Las Vegas for the CES event. He went to New York. his job is really difficult. He went to New York for the National Retail Foundation, also in Lisbon, and you will see a lot of innovation and sure that it will change the future. But we will start with l'Observatoire Cetelem. Just a few words about the methodology. More than 12,000 people, it's a lot. 15 countries. Austria and Bulgaria joined us end of 2016, and of course, national sample representative of each country. We are working with Kantar TNS. Kantar TNS is the main survey company in Europe and very famous in France. And the interview took place end of 2016, and the questionnaire was 15 minutes. I think that's enough to describe the methodology. 3 parts. The first one is about the economic climate. The second part is about reasons to be anxious about the present and the future. And the third part is about the new path to confidence. Let's have a look at the economic climate. Of course, we start with the GDP growth, the gross domestic product. You will see that in Western Europe, in Southern Europe, it's not very good. If you have a look, Italy, 0.9, Portugal, 1.2, France, 1.4. That's not enough if we want to see unemployment decreasing. For example, in France, we know that below 1.5, it's not possible to change something in terms of unemployment. So in Southern Europe and in Western Europe, it's not very good. And you can see also United Kingdom with the Brexit, and that's sure that next year it won't be very famous, just because today there is a big inflation and a lot of companies are leaving the United Kingdom. But if we have a look at the Central Europe, it's really, really good. For example, in Romania it's close to 4%, in Bulgaria close to 3%, in Czech Republic 2.6%, and regarding Slovakia, it's more than 3%. And the tendency is really good in Slovakia, because a lot of investors are coming to Slovakia, and we will come from Paris to Bratislava, and the consumption also is really good, because we saw the last figures in April, consumption was at a very high level, and sales from retail are very good level also in April. And some economists are speaking about the tiger of Tatras. You know, in the 19th, we used to speak about the Celtic tiger because Ireland was in a good shape, and today we are speaking about the tiger of Tatras. So, regarding GDP, everything is okay in Slovakia. Now, let's move to unemployment. As you can see, it's the same picture. It's not good in Southern Europe. If you have a look at Portugal, no, France, Portugal, Italy, Spain, it's close to 10% and 18% in Spain. If you have a look at Central Europe, it's much better, especially in Czech Republic, in Hungary, also in Romania, and we can see that the tendency in Slovakia is better and better. And we saw that end of April, I think, it was below 8% in Slovakia. So it's better and better, but of course, we have to differentiate between Bratislava and the other part of the country. Of course, because in Bratislava it's less than 4%, and perhaps in other part of the country it's close to 12%. But the tendency is really good. So, good GDP, and regarding unemployment, it's decreasing. Now you have the first question of the survey. And the first question is, how would you rate the general situation in your country today on the scale of 1 to 10? And it's very strange, because we saw that the situation is not really good in Northern Europe and in Western Europe. But when we see these figures, you can see that it's better in Germany, in Belgium, also in UK, and it's not so good in Central Europe, and especially in Slovakia. But you know, there is something amazing. It's the same situation in Slovakia as in France. When you speak with people in the street or in a restaurant, about the global situation. Everything is bad. It's the mess, unemployment, insecurity, too much taxes, blah, 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 blah. And you will see that when we speak about individuals, everything is okay. And you can see on the screen that regarding Slovakia, it's moving from 5 to 5.1, and the previous slide was 4.4 decreasing to 4.3, and it's the same for France. So be careful, because there is no link between the global state of mind and the consumption or the economics. Consumption is a question of individual, it's not a question of global situation. And it's amazing because it's the same in France. Okay? Now, let's see the spending power or the purchasing power. Over the last 2 months, would you say that your spending power has, if you have a look at the total sample, you can see that 37 people are thinking that the purchasing power is decreasing. It's only 29 in Slovakia. And 18% are thinking that is increasing, and it's 26% in Slovakia. So the situation is not so bad, okay, regarding the purchasing power, and you will see that Slovaks, sometimes it's difficult for Slovaks to buy something because they're spending a lot of time to compare price, to find information, we will see that. But globally, when we speak about the purchasing power, it's not so bad because only 29% are thinking that it's decreasing, and if we add 45 and 26, for more than 70% of people in Slovakia, it's not a big issue. Now, over the next 2 months, do you expect to spend more, save more? Slovakia is #1. It's amazing. 72% of people would like to spend more. In Slovakia, you want to spend. Okay, and if you have a look at France, it's only 35%, 35% in Germany. It's high level also in Czech Republic, in Poland, and in Romania, but Slovakia is #1. So it's not possible not to be optimistic for the future, that's sure. We saw the GDP, we saw the tendency of the unemployment, and now we saw what people in Slovakia would like to do. They would like to spend more. So for the retailers, for example, it's good, the situation is really good. Now, reasons to be anxious about the present and the future. On the screen, you can see globally, I'm really sorry because it's in French, but it's not too difficult to understand. You can see in red, insecurity, worry, and mistrust. It's the global perception in Europe. Insecurity, that's sure, with terrorism, and you will see in France, with the migration situation, that's sure. It's not possible not to speak about insecurity. Worry, of course, and we saw for the future, and the last decision from the United States for the climate is not good, because everybody worries for the future. And mistrust. I think mistrust is the right word for Slovakia, and especially for customers. You will see that before buying something, in Slovakia, you spend a lot of time to compare prices, to find codes on internet, and to be loyal to the same brand, not to change brand. You will see that. And I think that the right word is mistrust. Here, you can see a stronger sense of anger in France and in Italy. The situation is not really good. You will see that 37% in France are speaking about exasperation and anger. 28% in Italy. If we have a look of Slovakia, it's only 15. So only 2 countries are in red, France and Italy. You know, in France the situation was very difficult with terrorism, and it was before the new president. I don't know, perhaps with the new president it will be better. But you know, the situation is quite difficult in France, and also in Italy on the migration side. It's very difficult for Italian people today, and they don't have a lot of help from Europe, and they have to manage a lot of migrants, and it's not so easy. And you know, as is the case in Slovakia, there is a big gap between the north of Italy and the south of Italy. And globally, we have two countries in the red, France and Italy. Multiple reasons to be anxious. If we have a look at Slovakia, we can see, first, healthcare social security system. For me, it's not a surprise, because it's more and more expensive, and it's a big part of the budget. And so a lot of people in Slovakia worried about healthcare. And so it's not a big surprise for me. The second one is the economic situation in the country, and the third one is the country's capacity to reform. Here it's a surprise, because the situation is quite good in Slovakia. And I'm sure that regarding the country capacity to reform, it's not so bad. If we have a look at what was Slovakia in the 90s and Slovakia today, it's not the same situation, but in people's minds, it's still difficult in Slovakia. And I can understand social security system. It's more difficult for me to understand the economic situation in the country, perhaps because there are big differences between Bratislava and the other part of the country, perhaps, I don't know. And also the country's capacity to reform, because my feeling is that a lot of things are done in Slovakia. The pessimism that remains regarding their country future. So do you think that in the next 2 years the situation in your country will, in Slovakia worsen 45%, improve 15%. If you have a look at France, it's 50, it's a lot. But it's the same thing as we saw before previously. It's global. If you have the picture individual, you can see that. Do you think that in the next 2 years your personal circumstances will, in Slovakia, improve 44%? It's always the same thing. And when I speak with retailers about consumption, sales teams can spend a lot of time with clients, and they can cry with clients and to speak about the global situation, everything is bad, it's a mess. It's not the best way to build the confidence. But when you speak with a client about his individual situation, about his work, about his children and so on, it's really easy to speak about consumption, because we saw that people want to spend more. But we can spend a lot of time crying with the client, for example, and to speak about the current situation in Slovakia. You know, for me it's easy to speak about that because it's the same situation in France. And I spoke about that from a long year. Looking towards the future, are you confident or anxious regarding the fate of future generation? Everybody worries on the future, that's sure. And I spoke about the last decision of the United States on the climate. It's a big issue. It's not easy for us to think about the future of our children, because everything is difficult, that's sure. Terrorism, climate and so on. So it's not a big surprise to see this level of figures. Lack of confidence is affective consumption. Of the following, which are the first, second and third biggest obstacle preventing you from making purchases? If we have a look at Slovakia, the first is can't afford to spend the money. I want to buy, but I don't have enough money. The second is saving in case of hard times. And the third is no confident enough about the future. So it's easy for me to speak about my job. My job is consumer finance. If it's difficult to have enough money to buy something, you can try to take a credit. If you want to save money and to keep money because you are thinking about the future, perhaps it's better to keep your money and to take a credit to consume. And it's the same, so not confident enough about the future. When we saw the level of debt in Slovakia, it's not very high. It's really far from what we can see in Northern Europe or in Western Europe. And so it could be a pillar for or a way to increase the GDP in Slovakia, because you know that the consumption is the main part of the GDP, and we know that it's possible in Slovakia to use consumer finance because the level of debt is not so high, and we can see that a lot of people want to buy. Of course, everybody has not enough money to buy, and perhaps to use, but you know, we are the champion of responsible lending. We don't want to do. We want the lending to be responsible, and you can see that it could be an answer of what we see on the screen. Alors, which of these affirmations best describe your attitude when you are looking to buy a product more than 300 or 500 euro? It's amazing because you can see your flag. You can see Slovakia. The first, 93% of people in Slovakia are comparing prices. And they are spending a lot of time on the web to compare. The second, if you see Slovakia, 88% are requesting more quotes. So they would like to find a lot of information through the social media to be sure that when they will buy something, everything is okay. But you can see, I use credit facilities. Slovakia is in line with Europe. It's not more. You don't see your flag here. I take more time to think, 91% in Slovakia. I hesitate more before buying, it's in the average, and I put off a purchase for longer, it's average. But we can see on this chart that I spoke about mistrust is the case. I want to buy, but I don't want to buy, I want to think about what I would like to buy, I want to compare, I want to find a lot of quotes to be sure that my purchase will be the good one. New path to confidence, it's okay in terms of timing? It's a little bit hot, but I will keep my vest. Okay, now we will speak about confidence. It's really interesting to see this chart because, you know, for retailers, it's not good to start with a loyalty program. That's not enough. If we want to build confidence, the first pillar is the knowledge. People want to look themselves. They want to speak with people close to them. They want to be sure that they will know everything. And so to build the confidence, we have to start by the knowledge. The second pillar is the customer experience, of course. And when you have the knowledge and the customer experience, then you can work on relationships. And then you can, for example, build a loyalty program. But that's not enough to have just a loyalty program, because people want to be sure that everything is okay. And they want to find themselves the right information. Which of the following propositions would you give you the most confidence in your country's future? It's not a surprise. For Slovakia, a rise in wage, more money. The second is a drop in unemployment, of course, because if everybody has a job, there is more money to purchase. And the third one is a rise in pension and benefits for retirement. Okay, you can see that in Germany, for 44%, it's less social inequality. There is something amazing in Germany because you know that the global situation is really good in Germany for 10 or 15 years. But German people are thinking that now they would like to, how to say that? They would like more, less social inequality, because they are thinking that it's good for people and not good for others. A lot of people have a job, a good job, and for others they have a job that is small incomes, small wages, and they would like to have more equality. I was looking for the word in Germany. And if we have a look at France, you will see the elimination of the terrorist threat. it's really important. You know, it was really difficult for retailers in Paris because a lot of tourists are not coming here. And I saw also a figure for, no, it's not here, I will speak about that. When you see, we will see for Portugal, for example, they are really afraid with the Brexit because a lot of English people are coming to Portugal for tourism and also to live. And today with the Brexit, it's not so easy because they don't have enough money to continue to do that. Which of the following collaborative practice do you employ? Not sure it's really, really interesting for you because as Slovakia is in line with Europe, it's about purchase or sell items to private individual. It's the C2C business. The second is exchange of goods, services with private individual, house apartment rental to private individuals, and ride sharing. It's not really high, it's higher in France, but okay, for the moment, I think I don't have very interesting to say about that for Slovakia. Here, regarding the confidence. Today, do you have confidence in family? 92%. In friends, 88%. It's a lot. In myself, 87%. In today's society, 29%. We are in an individual society. We don't trust the global society. We trust the family, we trust friends, of course, self, but regarding the society, we are far from that. It's a big change, because it was not the case last century. Everybody would like to build a good society for everybody. It's finished. Today, it's individual. Regarding politicians, 11% politicians of the world. Do you have confidence in politicians? 11%. 27% for local elected representatives. Of course, if you give your vote for someone, of course it's a little bit better. The national government, 24%. Public institution, 40%. European institution, only 32%. Country's justice system, 32%. Financial institution, 30%. And the last about confidence is this one. Are you confident in the following organization? So internet, 40%. In fact, it's a lot, because it's more than what we saw previously. It's more than European institution, it's more than the country's justice system, it's more than financial institution. And we know that internet started 15 years ago only. And so people are trusted more and more internet, the social media, and 23% for journalists. But you know, today it's really difficult for people to differentiate between journalists, for example, and people writing on the social media or on the internet. And today we have a lot of information all day long, and it's more and more difficult to go deeper in the information. And in people's mind, it's difficult to differentiate between what a journalist can do and what people can do on the social media. How confident are you in the following organization stakeholder? You will see small and medium-sized enterprise, 63%, brands 46%, major companies 31%. In fact, people, and it's the case in Slovakia, are looking for proximity. It's more confident with small retailer close to my flat or to my house, because I know this retailer. And so you can see there is a big difference between small and medium-sized enterprise and major companies. Regarding brands, in general, which statement best describes your attitude when you are choosing a brand? If you have a look of Slovakia, 94% I'm more and more careful about what I buy. I spoke about mistrust, okay? 86% for Slovakia I know far in advance which brands I'm going to buy. Always the same brand. 77% are choosing the same brands. So it's not so easy in Slovakia to install a new brand, because people would like to keep always the same, because there is no issue. I know this brand, and so I will continue to use this brand. I pay increasing attention to what people say about a brand. You can see Slovakia, 68%. I increasingly have the confidence to try new brand. There is no, I think Slovakia is in the average. But you can see that I spend more and more time. I want to know the brand before buying. I want to keep always the same brand. And so that's why I spoke about mistrust. Confidence about the brand, but there is nothing new with this chart. You can see that in Slovakia, you would like brand to offer quality products and services. Okay, having a positive image and reputation, and past experience of the brand is the customer experience, the customer journey. I spoke about that previously. If you have a look at France, for example, you can see being ethical and responsible. It's the first one, the first survey we saw this item. And I go fast because quality labels are important to 68% of Europeans, and you can see that in Slovakia it's 62, so it's close to the average. So we are speaking about quality label. It's more and more important. When I used to speak about quality label 10 years ago, it was like that, and now more and more people are looking for labels. When buying a product, do you have confidence in the recommendation advice given by those close to you? You can see 87%. Specialist magazines, 70%. Rating and opinion post online by other consumers, you can see 68% for Slovakia. That's why I spoke about the social media. It's really important in Slovakia. You are spending a lot of time on internet to find information and to be sure that your purchase will be the good one. To go fast. Economic key data are really good in Slovakia. We saw that. There is a big gap between the overall perception and the individual. It's key to well understand the situation in Slovakia. And as I said, it's the same situation in France. Consumption is on the individual side, so no reason to forecast a decrease of consumption in the coming months. There is no reason to be pessimistic for the future. Everything is running in Slovakia today. I know that there was a big difference between Bratislava and the rest of Slovakia, but globally everything is okay. To build confidence, we have to start with knowledge and then experience and relationships. In Slovakia, confidence mainly in oneself, in what people say about a brand or a product, and most of the time the same brands are chosen. So I spoke about the mistrust. Internet, social media, brand content, customer experience, really key in Slovakia to give confidence. I'm really sorry because you saw a lot of data, a lot of figure. You will have the whole presentation with the USB key. Now I will give the floor to Nicolas, and we will speak about innovation. Of course, if you have a question, we will have a Q&A session after Nicolas' presentation. Sorry to go fast, sorry because in English it's not so easy for me, but I hope you understood what I said. Thank you very much.
So thanks for receiving me here. I'm very pleased to discover Bratislava for the first time. I enjoyed the city last night. So we're going to be started with a main feedback on our trend report that we write annually based on 3 main events, because the job of Echangeur, as Pascal told you earlier, is very tough. We have to cover the world and track the latest trends on innovation. And so what's going to do for the next 40 minutes. Just to be started, we talk a lot about population, the youngster, the millennials, the young adult under to behave, especially in Western Europe and in the US. And most of them are very engaged on social networks, and they also find that collaborative economy and sharing economy is a good way to consume. That's why Uber is so popular, Airbnb and so on. And the last one, almost 25% of them don't want human contact while shopping. I'm part of them, even though I'm over 34 years old. Most of us own a mobile phone, actually I own two, and we spend a lot of time on our mobile phone. We, on average, check our phone over 150 times a day. Kind of crazy. What about social networks? It's getting bigger and bigger. We have nearly 2 billion people on Facebook. And new social networks coming out of nowhere every year and so on. So now the key trends for the young generation will be Snapchat. I don't know if some of you guys are on Snapchat. I am. Who else? No one? Come on, oh, thank you. At least one. What about mobile application? Because for the last 5 years we told brands and retailers to develop mobile application. But we don't use retail mobile application. We only use social media, emails, banking, and games application. If you look at the top 10 mobile application downloaded worldwide, the first retailer is at the 10th position, and that's Amazon. No other big retailers. And also households are changing, where by the year 2030 in Western Europe, 40% will be single. And 30% of customers will be over 65 years old. And imagine also, one of the quotes, that babies that are born this year, they may not know what is a traffic light, what is a car insurance, because they will have autonomous cars in 20 years. Maybe they will never go to a bank branch. Maybe they will just manage their finance online. So that means that for brands and for retail, it means that you still have to think ahead, not only for today's business, but for the forthcoming business. And that's why you have new services like this one.
The delivery service and the consumer. What's great about this technology is that whenever you move, your address moves with you. Phone address is the next logical evolutionary step towards a truly mobile life. It was launched by mobile provider Base together with Royal Delivery, a Belgian food delivery company. But this is only the beginning. Phone address is also available for other stores and brands. From now on, your home is where your phone is. Establish a dynamic connection between the delivery.
So now you get delivered where your phone is, not at your house and your address. So that's kind of new services that came with the rise of smartphones, the rise of 3G and 4G. Without that, we don't have any Uber, for instance. So imagine that in the next 5 years, and it's going to be starting in 2020, you will have 5G. That is faster and there is no latency. So then maybe we will have also new players coming to the party, providing new services due to the high rise of speed internet access. Same thing with Amazon. They have launched the Amazon Go. I don't know if you have seen the video, guys. Just a store when you walk into the store with your smartphone, scan your QR code to get in, pick up any products, and they have computer vision and image recognition. They know the product you picked up and put in your basket. You can put it back on the shelf, it goes out of your basket. And then when you get out of the store, everything is paid automatically. So no more cashier, no more cash wrap. It's a real seamless store. So that's just for the buzz at that time, just a test, because it's not working that well in the real life. Because in their store in Seattle, where they experience the technology, they are only able to manage at the same time 15 customers. So not that big. And it's not for them that they develop that kind of technology. It's for the other retailers. Because they'll be the tech provider for small and medium retailers worldwide. Because The small and medium retailers, they don't have the money to invest and to develop new technology. And then Amazon's going to be like, it's like a Trojan horse. They're going to provide the technology to retailers, and then they're going to also access to all the data from their customers. What about instant messaging? Who's on Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Viber, and so on? Yeah, we all are. By next year, we'll have almost the same amount of people text messaging on instant messaging application than internet people connected to the internet. It's amazing. And why it's a very interesting trend? Because most of us want to interact with brand through messaging application. We don't want to call. We don't want to go to the store to talk to a sales rep. We just want to chat with them. It's easier, faster, and we gain time. And that's why it's already the case in Facebook. Now you can order your Uber directly in the Facebook Messenger application. So while I'm chatting with Pascal, let's say last night, he's going to tell me, meet me in a restaurant in Bratislava, send me the address, and then I'll order automatically from Messenger the Uber. I don't have to open the Uber application anymore. That's going to be the same thing for all the retail applications, all the brands. So which means that tomorrow we won't have to develop a mobile application. We will just have to develop a specific application for an instant messaging application, which is called App in a App. And that's why Facebook has developed the chatbot platform, which means that you will have also automation and artificial intelligence. And that's what is being done by Burberry. You can chat with the brand online. During daytime, you will have a human, and when the hours of working are done, then you will have an artificial intelligence talking to you. And you're able to shop without leaving the messaging application. And Facebook has not invented anything. It's from China. Because in China you have WeChat, which is the same kind of tool for instant messaging as Facebook, and they have been doing that for years now. So in China, they have 700 active user monthly on WeChat, and people are chatting with a friend, buying product, booking restaurant table, ordering holidays and so on, without leaving the messaging application. And that's where Facebook wants to go. They want to be the hub for internet consumption through messaging. And WeChat is not only a social network, it's also a bank. They also own their own taxi company. You can even pay your taxes, your bills, manage your administration files in the messaging application. Do you imagine yourself paying your bills on Facebook tomorrow? That's the case in China. And they work with the government. So they give all the information to the government as well, and that's why they are allowed to do that. They are allowed to build a real ecosystem. And now, started last Friday, so it's nearly fresh, Apple has launched Business Chat. So now, maybe tomorrow, I'll be able to manage my relationship with BNP PARIBAS Personal Finance through iMessage. And I will know where is my file for my loan. If they like my idea, we'll take a picture, send it to iMessage, and then they're going to manage everything. So maybe tomorrow, brands, Apple wants brands also to do their customer relationship through iMessages, and not only on Facebook. So they try to compete with Facebook on the chat and conversational commerce ecosystem. What about in stores? Even in stores, messaging application can be used. Macy's in the US, they are using an artificial intelligence of IBM, and then when you are in the store, maybe there is no representative available, then you're going to launch a mobile application and chat with the robot that's going to do the sell and give you advice, send you the review of other customer and so on. So then you'll be testing an artificial intelligence while you're in a store to buy product. What about the voice? Voice is the next step. And what a better example than what Amazon is doing with the Amazon Echo and the artificial intelligence Amazon Alexa.
Alexa, alarm on. Alexa, what's on the calendar today?
You have 12 events scheduled.
Alexa, call me Uber.
Your Uber will arrive in 2 minutes.
Alexa, what's the weather like today?
There's a 100% chance of showers.
Alexa, pair my Bluetooth speaker. Okay, paired.
So you get the point. I have one at home. It's working very well. I'm lucky enough to have chosen a wife that is not named Alexa, otherwise it's going to be a troublemaker. And the thing is interesting is that I can even buy products through Amazon. As a Prime member, I can say, Alexa, add rice to my basket. Alexa, I need some detergent. Alexa, and so on. And 1/3 of all the Alexa owners buy products through voice recognition. It's already available in Germany, in England, and in the US. They have sold around 8 million units in the US, so which means that you have 8 million houses in the US where you have a speaker listening everything all the people are saying within the house. So which means that Amazon knows how you live, because they have also made partnership with all provider of the connected house, like LG, like Philips, Logitech, and so on. So for the connected house, they are also the hub of it. And you have many skills on it, like, as you can see, and even brand can develop their own skills. So which means that if I'm a Pizza Hut lover, I can have the skills of Pizza Hut, and then when I would say, Alexa, order my pizza, automatically they're gonna know what is my favorite pizza and order the pizza at Pizza Hut and be delivered the next 30 minutes through voice recognition. And they were the key trend of the CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas last January. They did not have any booth on the trade show, but they were on all the biggest booths of all the brands like LG, Whirlpool, Volkswagen, Hyundai, Ford, because they've made partnership. So they provide their artificial intelligence to all these brands, which means that they are in your car, they know how you drive, they will be in your washing machine, they will be in your oven, they will be in your fridge. So they know what you eat, they know how many detergent you use, and so on.
Alexa, ask my Ford Mobile to start my car with pin 2376.
Sending start command to your car.
Alexa.
Alexa.
What was the score last night for the Detroit game?
Last night, Detroit beat Tampa Bay 5-2-3.
I don't know if you have seen Iron Man, the movie, but now with Alexa, you have your own Jarvis. Everywhere, and it follows you. It's on your car, in your house, in your mobile, and so on. And Apple strikes back as well last week, and they announced the HomePod that is based mostly about the music, but they also have the artificial intelligence theory in it. So which means that they will be able to also give service access through voice recognition, even though they focus on music at that time. But see, all main players are doing the same thing for Google, with Google Home. And Google Home is even better because it can do translation. Like you're going to speak French and going to be translated in Russian or in, I don't know, in Slovakia, but I know in German and many, and even Chinese, which is very interesting, especially if you work, you are in a meeting and so on. Even brands are building their own smart devices like this one.
That's the magic of the Staples Easy System.
Hi.
Using simple spoken words,
Any more post-it notes?
the Easy button lets you order everything your team needs to be productive, fed, and caffeinated.
French vanilla coffee and letter-sized copy paper.
Got it. That was easy.
It's an extra set of hands, helping you save
So you have brands and so on. So that's the main part of it, and that's why Amazon is very interesting to analyze, because they have built many tools to gather data from the house, from the car, from what you shop, from what you like, And then I'm pretty sure that tomorrow they're going to be providing a life plan. You're going to pay, let's say, 2,000 euros a month. They're going to provide you the housing, the food, the internet access, the energy, the car insurance, the house insurance, and so on. And you will have only one brand to talk to. We are talking about trust issues in the past presentation. That's the most trusted payment tool in the US is Amazon Payments. It's not from a bank, it's not the one of Google, it's not Apple Pay, it's Amazon. They don't have any trust issues from consumer. And then as there is a lack of trust from government and so on, big players like Facebook, Google, they want to fight terrorism. On behalf
It's not so easy in Slovakia.
Hopefully, who knows. Let's check out a closer look at Amazon. That's the first search engine for product search worldwide, is Amazon. It's not Google. If you look at the market capitalization in the US, they're even bigger than Walmart, Target, Kohl's, Nordstrom, and so on united. It's crazy. But they have some improvement to do, especially because they rely on logistics, on UPS, FedEx, and so on. And the cost is getting bigger and bigger, and that's why they have invested in airplanes, in cargo, in trucks, because then they're going to have their own logistics. And as they've done so many times, they do it for themselves, and then they're going to provide it to other brands, to other retailers. So then they're going to compete with all logistical big companies worldwide. They even have done last December the first drone delivery for a customer in UK.
It's called Prime Air.
With Prime Air. So it's not only the buzz now.
Private trial for customers in the Cambridge area of England. And on December 7th, we completed our first delivery. Customers will choose from a selection of thousands of items tucked away in a Prime Air fulfillment center located just over the horizon from their homes. We have been operating fulfillment centers for...
And they also have the project, crazy project, to have a flying warehouse over cities. But then drones are gonna go back and forth to the flying warehouse to pick up products and deliver you in the next 10 minutes. So it will be like real-time commerce without moving from your couch. Kind of crazy, we'll see how it goes. They even have made partnership with banks. They have their own credit card in the US for Prime members, Chase. And there's also rumors that they may buy Capital One Bank and become a bank. Just like WeChat did. They have launched the Amazon Dash button, which means that, let's say I'm a big Coca-Cola lover, I will put that button on my fridge, and anytime I pinch it, then it's going to add Cokes to my order and order Coca-Cola so I don't run out of Coca-Cola automatically. So they've done it with many brands, and that was just the beginning, and that's part of the announcement that they've done at CES, is that now there will be in home appliances automatically, directly. So which means that my washing machine from Whirlpool is going to know how many detergent I've bought on Amazon, how many cycles I've done, how many detergent I use on each cycle, and then that's my washing machine that's going to order detergent on my behalf. They do the same thing with Brita, with dog food, and so on. So then, smart appliances going to buy products, consume. And they have their own ecosystem. You have the web services, you have also payments, lending for small companies. They also have Amazon Home Services. You're looking for a plumber, you ask Amazon. And then in the next hour you have a plumber to repair your leak. And all main players from the valley have the same strategy. They want to build ecosystem. If you look at Google, they are everywhere. Retail, insurance, logistics, payment, bank, smart home, health, automotive, artificial intelligence, even biometric. Same thing for Amazon, Facebook, Google, same thing. And I was attending a nice event that's going to be also starting next year. So that was last year with Eric Schmidt, the CEO of Google, I was in front of him, and he told us state and governments are stronger than us just because they are allowed to arrest people. How crazy is that? And that's the same thing in China. We have Alibaba, which is like Amazon, Tencent, WeChat, and Baidu like Google. And they have the same strategy. They want to build ecosystem. So then they will be able to cover all life of consumer and human being. I don't know if we are willing to do that, but I'm pretty sure some of us, because it is our life to just have one brand to interact with. And for others, that would be horrible to live in that kind of world. It's like the novel, the best of the world, Meilleur des mondes in French. I don't know if it was a good translation. But what's the answer for retailers? It's going to be on IoT, Internet of Things. We can track any smartphone as long as you have your Wi-Fi on. I'll be able to track people, even though they are not connected to my Wi-Fi. So then I will have the heat map of the store. So then I will know if the flow of customers is efficient enough. Same thing with image recognition. With public camera here in New York, I'm able to know and analyze pedestrians. For instance, I know how many people are walking in front of my shopping window and how many came into my store, so I know the efficiency of my marketing campaign, of my shopping window. Also, I will know if it's a good spot to open a new store and so on. And they work with Starbucks in the US, so then they also give information to the store manager in advance that they will know that you have a group of 20 people 100 meters away. We know the ratio of people coming to the store, so you may have a rush, so then relocate your staff into the store, so then people will have less wait to get their coffee, because they know people are coming into the store. What about providing digital tools to staff members in store? We are talking a lot about tablets, smartphones, but not anymore. That's already mainstream in the US. It's coming in Western Europe. Now the next generation may be to provide smartwatches, because it's free hands. Then here at True Religion in New York, they get access to all the stocks information. They also are able to access the loyalty program to know if you're a good customer and so on, directly on the watch. And then they manage all the contents in all the screens of the store through the watch, to share information and so on, to look at reviews. Pretty clever. What about robots? Here, at the beginning it was a French robot, so now it's Japanese, because SoftBank, phone provider, yeah, there was a phone provider has bought the French company Alibaba. And in Japan, you will have a phone store that's going to be run 90% by robots like this one. And it's getting bigger and bigger. That was a New York National Retail Federation show. You have a lot of robots to welcome people and to guide people in the store. Because most of the time when you go to big do-it-yourself stores like Leroy Merlin and so on, the first thing you do, you're looking for products. So you ask people where I can find a hammer, a screwdriver and so on. But that's not a sale with high added value. So then there's going to be a robot doing that. You will ask the robot, bring me to the hammer section. And it's going to give you direction and you're going to follow the robots. You even are able to do a video conference within the robot if you need an expert. Let's say you're looking for a car, you need a financial expert, then you will have someone from personal finance coming onto the screen of the robot talking to you, and maybe you take picture of your ID and stuff, and then build your own proposal, and then sign the contract on the robot, and then before you go, you have the car. What about also robots to analyze and scan shelves? So you have here Tally that is able to analyze merchandising in a store in real time. You even have drones for warehouse, like this one, that's going to be able to scan and give data about the product location. And they work on image recognition, like we have one partner here, first startup named Copius, working with the robot Tally, that is able to recognize any product and see if your merchandising fits the marketing plan. I showed you the video about Amazon Go. You know, you just pick up products, add it to your basket, and you're free to go. It's already too old, because we have a startup we saw in New York named Focal System. they put tablets on a trolley, tablets with camera. They have 2 cameras on the side doing merchandising analysis, so then you don't need the robot anymore. And they have frontal camera, so then they analyze the packaging you put on your trolley and add it automatically to your basket. So you don't need the technology from Amazon. You just need to put that tablet on your trolley. And then people pay on the trolley and they're free to go as well. The smart trolley that we have been dreaming about 20 years.
30.
Yeah, almost. What about payments? Today payments is always learning some of marketing. That's where most of the time we have the bad experiences because we are waiting in the line and so on. So to not wait anymore, we have a startup named Steam Shop that is able to give you a virtual ticket. So then you don't wait anymore to have your meeting with the specialist of kitchen at Leroy and so on. So then you have a virtual ticket on your mobile phone, and when it's your turn, they're going to send you a message, say, go back to the kitchen section, that's going to be your turn in 5 minutes. So you don't lose time. I'll give you a bad experience that I had at Leroy Merlin. I bought a new floor for a flat, spent almost 1,500 euros, and waited 1 hour and a half to pick up my product. And I spent the hour and a half just sending back tweets to the brand. And if I had that kind of tool, then I will maybe be able to go back to the store because I have some time to kill, add products to my basket, buy other stuff, or go grab something to eat. Even maybe take a lesson to know to put my new floor in my apartment. And then the customer relationship would have been better. Other than that, as many times, think back. What about this?
The first comedy show
That's the best one.
Pay for what you consume. We fitted each seat with a facial recognition system that detects the smile and proposed the following deal to spectators. Entrance will be totally free.
New way to pay.
If the show produces no laughs, you don't pay anything. However, if you laugh, you have to pay for each smile. Each smile produced is worth 30 euro cents, something that in this day and age is quite a reasonable price. At the end of the show, the spectator could check their laughter account before paying and even share it on social networks. And so that no one would cry for having laughed more than they could afford, the maximum amount to pay was 80 laughs for 24 euros. The average price of the ticket increased by 6 euros. The system was covered by the main national media outlets, and this produced 35% more spectators. Each pay-per-laugh show produced 28,000 euros more ticket money than was normally taken. Currently, the system is being copied in other theatres in Spain. A mobile phone app was created as a system of payment, and the first season ticket was launched for the number of laughs, not shows. But we should also not write off the pay-per-cry. Or pay-per-what-the-fuck system. Or maybe not.
Pay-per-laugh. The first comedy shows where you own...
See, you can still pretty innovative by being clever, using facial recognition, and they create a new way to pay in theater. So maybe we'll see that in stores, just smile at the cash wrap and then you pay. But we talk a lot about mobile payments. I don't believe that mobile payment is going to be only on a smartphone. It's going to be everywhere because we have seen the rise of wearables, you know, all the devices you wear, a smartwatch, could be also smart glasses, a smart ring and so on. So payment's going to be widespread everywhere. Maybe in my car key, for instance, because when I go to the supermarket, I'm driving, then why not I just need my keys at the cash wrap with near-field communication technology to pay and then to go. So I don't have to bring my credit card or my wallet anymore.
Where?
So that's some stuff that are coming out and it's going to be interesting for payments. What about virtual reality? It's getting bigger and bigger. In China, they have launched a mobile application with Alibaba where you have 10 million customers buying products into virtual worlds, like this one. Where they can go to the US.
Hey, where did you come from? Now that you're here, welcome to the big apple. It's your brother. Yeah, time to go.
And they can go directly to Macy's in New York to buy products. So then they walk virtually into the store like they will do in the real world, look at products, add the products to the basket, pay, and be delivered the next day. So that may be the future of e-commerce. And that's coming, it's getting bigger and bigger. It works very well today for real estate. So you do virtual visit, like you are in the flat, in the apartment, and tomorrow there will be virtual stores like this one. And you'll be able to customize the store depending on the country your visitors are coming from. Same thing with furnitures. So then I have the phone that is allows that. That's a Lenovo smartphone. You'll be able to test it afterwards. That has a camera with a 3D scanner. So then I scan the wall. I know the exact surface of the wall, the exact height between the floor and the top, and so on. So then I'll be able to place product with augmented reality at the same size available. They will let me know if my new bed is going to fit in my room or not. So that will be the future of it, and it's already available in two smartphones from Lenovo and Asus. And you have at Apple 600 engineers working on that features. So that will be also on the next iPhone, I guess. And then it's going to go mainstream. If Apple has it, it's going to go mainstream. Because with the announcement of last week, they have made a big improvement with iOS 11 on augmented reality and virtual reality. So they have a really big focus on that as well. What about the real life? What's going on in stores? Converse, the temple of customization. If you go to New York, you go to Converse on Soho. The top 2 pictures was taken in 2012, and the other one at the bottom are from 2017. And in 2012, you only had 4 iPads and 1 machine to customize the shoes. Last January, you had the whole floor dedicated to customization. You can even build your own shoes. You choose everything from the leather, from everything, the rubber and so on. And in the whole floor you have like 10 iPads, 10 machines to customize any product in a store. And just the extra cost of customization brings 20% of the store turnover. That's just crazy. Because people want to feel unique. They want to have the one product that your friends don't have. And what's interesting here, they produce it within the store. So which means that I'm customizing my shoes, like I would do also with Nike, but I don't wait 3 weeks that is being sent from China. I just have the products in the next 24 hours. If I customize my Converse, I want to have them on my feet when I go out of the plane, when my friends come pick me up at the airport. What about Itza? Itza is a very cool fast food where you have no humans. You don't see any humans. You can order your food on your mobile phone or on tablets. They recognize my name through my credit card. So they say, hey, welcome Nicolas, which is kind of clever as well as a customization. They also, here, my credit card is used as a loyalty ID, which means anytime I'm going to go back to the store, I'm going to swipe my card, they're going to give me the information about my past purchases, if I want to buy the same menu and so on. And what's interesting also here is that you are delivered in you say automatic kiosk with a screen in less than 2 minutes. So that's a real fast food, not like McDonald's or whatever. And actually the food is good, which is also good. It was good. Yeah, it was very good. A good skills for restaurants. What about Sonos? At Sonos, they have built 5 small houses within the store where you can try the sound system. So let's see how it looks. You can dance. So they put you in small houses like this one, listening to your music from your mobile or to the library of the brand. And I've seen customers dancing in the store. Do you know any other brand that is able to do that? People were having fun. If you have fun, you buy. That's all about the experience. What about Cadillac? They have opened a new store in New York because they have moved their headquarters from Detroit to New York, where they don't sell cars. You can see and go into 3 cars here in the store, but here they have built a lounge because they want to build a strong relationship with their customer, with people. So they want to be part of the life community of your daily life. So you come there to work. That's an open office. You come there to grab a coffee. They have a coffee shop inside it. And actually, sometimes you can go into the car, look at the cars. And if you want to buy the car, you ask one of the staff members, and they're going to provide you the nearest car dealers to your house and book an appointment to test the car. Nobody's going to come to you saying, do you want to buy a car? Just here to relax, to have some time. They even have shows and events on because they have made a partnership with the Fashion Council of New York. So then you have some event and so on about fashion within the store. Nothing to sell. Same thing in the new store of Nike in New York, and so one of my favorite. I used to play basketball for many years when I was young, not anymore, even though I wasn't that good. I was able to try on the new Kyrie Irving shoes in this store because they have a basketball court in the store at the 5th level of the store, which is kind of crazy. Try the product, play basketball for almost 10 minutes. Then when I was done, I just take off the shoes. Nobody asked me if I wanted to buy the shoes. So I asked the staff member, why that? They told us, we don't care if you buy the shoes now. Because if you have already made your decision, you're going to take the shoes with you and go to the cash wrap. But if you want to wait, you're going to wait. We don't want to push you, because we want you to have the best experience with the Nike products. And if you have the best experience with the Nike products in our store, we don't care if you buy in a store or online tomorrow, as long as you buy Nike. So which means that the stores begin to be like a community manager. They influence people. You can even book a meeting with one of the staff members to help you choose product. So you go online, book a meeting with, like say, a sports fashion designer, and it's going to give you advice about your style when you run and so on, within the store. You can do the same thing with your running shoes and with football shoes. You have a small field. And one of my favorites as well is Pirsch. Pirsch is selling home appliances and furniture and so on. And everything is working in the store. From the oven, to the kitchen, to the shower, to the toilets, everything. You can even flush the toilets in the store. So you listen to the noise. That's the tricky part. I just bought a house last summer. I have the toilets close to my bedroom. But I don't want the flush noise to annoy me when I'm sleeping. But you cannot test that in many stores. Here, I was able to test it. It would have been great, because I changed it, because I chose the worst one, as lucky as I am. So that's funny, because everything is working, and that's a key trend. Even in France, we have stores from Boulanger and so on that are working on that concept, where people come into the store and try all the products, all they want. Because they don't care if you buy online or in the store. We just want you to experience the products, and we build the trust. We allow you to test products. We don't want you to buy something you don't want, or you will regret your buying. And just to finish, because the world is changing fast, we are going into the world of algorithm and artificial intelligence. Still, 2 key trends for retailers: personalization, customization, and also experience, to fight the algorithm era and world. Because people also sometimes want to go to the store to have a human interaction, even though millennials, for 25% of them, don't like that. That would be kind of interesting to see how it goes. And thank you very much, or me, or something like that, in Slovakia. And thank you. I have a question.
Teraz je priestor na vaše otázky, takže pokiaľ vás počas týchto prezentácií napadlo niečo, čo by ste sa ešte chceli spýtať, čo by vás zaujímalo, tak teraz je na to priestor, nech sa páči ešte predtým, ako vás pozveme na obed. Áno, mám jednu otázku, nech sa páči, mikrofón.
Môžeme poslať, hej? Dobrý deň. No ja by som sa chcela opýtať, že teda hovorili sme tu aj o zdieľanej ekonomike a mňa by zaujímalo, či retail, maloobchod vníma zdieľanú ekonomiku ako hrozbu alebo skôr ako nejaký doplnok. Alebo akým spôsobom?
I'm sorry because I don't have the
Take the headsets.
Okay.
Different.
No, but perhaps you can answer. I need it. Okay. So, could you translate it? Okay, I can hear him.
Okay, the question was shared economy. Perceived by retailers as
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't understand share economy. Okay. I think today they are afraid about share economy because it's a new business. It's a C2C. It's a C2C business, and it's really difficult to know how to manage it. And you know, it's a big business. For example, regarding the furniture market, you have a lot of business, customer to customer, and also on the automotive market, you know, on the used car, you have a lot of cars selling from customer to customer, and the business is not for retailers. And so today they are afraid about that, and they have to find solution to do the business with the share economy. And so my feeling is that today they are afraid about that, and I don't believe they are thinking it's an opportunity to make money. It's my feeling today. Did you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Ďalšie otázky máme? A nech sa páči.
Pán Diacono veľa hovoril. Pán Diacono vo svojej prezentácii veľa hovoril o osobných skúsenostiach a zbieraní dát, čo sa týka užívateľov jednotlivých aplikácií. A ja by som sa chcel spýtať, ako je zabezpečená bezpečnosť týchto dát a čo sa v tejto oblasti najnovšie robí.
So security is a big issue, but the thing is, most of the customers, they are willing to give all the data they have if they see that the value of the benefit they're going to receive back is enough. So just depending on how you see the benefit. So most of the time, for instance, I don't mind sharing my data for something important. I don't look at it. Even though when you download a mobile application, do you read or look at what the mobile application is going to access into your phone? I don't think we have so many people looking at it. And because we want that application. That's very important for us. And they're going to be more and more, I would say, hackers and people, brands is going to have some data robbery from hackers and so on worldwide, because also that's getting bigger and bigger. People are more and more connected, and that's why that's also the benefit for the bank industry and the finance industry, because they have the highest security system, which some of the online players don't have. So that's where also a key fact where financial institutions have to work on and to play with that. And that's also where I think the blockchain that I didn't talk about, which is a ledger, was going to be very interesting for consumer, because they're going to allow consumer to manage their data and the sharing of data depending on the brand they want to interact with. So then we have a platform where I'm going to talk to that brand, okay, I give access only to that part of the data I have on myself. I talk to that other brand, I give that data, not the other one, and so on. And then I will be like a community manager, which is already the case for younger generation because most of parents were afraid about social media, but kids, they are better than most of the community manager. They treat themselves as a brand online. They have several accounts. I can see from my sister-in-law, she's 20 years old, she has 2 Facebook accounts, Snapchat, WhatsApp, and so on, and she knows what to share. She has 2 Facebook accounts, one for the family, another one for boyfriend, friend and boyfriend, and so on, depending on who she wants to talk to. They are working like brand, personal branding.
Máme nejaké ďalšie otázky?
Ja som sa chcel spýtať, keď si rozmyslia. I would like to ask you a question. English or Slovak? Doesn't matter. I would like to ask you a question because Pascal, you presented that the Slovak nation is one of the nations in EU which is the most willing to buy. This is one of the outcomes. The second outcome was that they are checking all the time prices, etc. And how do you explain this? Why this is like that? And what is the reason for that? And the second question I have for Nicolas, but after the answer.
So you want to know what they would like to...
Yeah, because one of the outcomes was we presented on the one slide that Slovak nation, among the European nations, is one of the nations which is the most willing to buy. You know, despite the fact that concerning the economy is booming, that's right. But when you compare it with Czech Republic, for instance, this is not the case for the Czech people. You know.
Well, for Czech people, it was high. It was also.
It was high, but in Slovakia it was the.
No,
the biggest
Slovakia
one.
is the highest, not
yeah,
Czech.
the highest.
But you know, we saw that from the beginning of 2000. In fact, we saw that in Central Europe and Eastern Europe, people would like to spend a lot of money, to have a big comfort, and to be like in Southern Europe and Western Europe, because there is a gap between the situation in Eastern Europe in the 90s, the 80s and 90s, and with Western Europe and Southern Europe. That I don't know how to say that in English, but the idea is to behave like other Europeans, because it was not the case in the 90s and the 80s, and so they would like to buy, they would like to have the same life as people in the Western Europe. And today we have, when we have a look at wages, it's higher and higher, and so it's possible today to purchase. And so there is no reason not to have the same life as people from Western Europe or people from the United States. And so, and it's going very fast. It's growing very fast in Central Europe. And so that's why my feeling is that they would like to have the same life, and also they would like to have the same comfort and to spend a lot of money to purchase.
Okay, thanks. Nicolas, you presented a lot of innovations. It's difficult to even remember this because there's so many. And I was really amazed how the development is going so fast. And the question is, because you presented from different part of the business, and you didn't mention too much about the banking, about the financing. That means the business which we are talking about. So where do you see the future of this part of the business?
Tricky one. The future, as I mentioned earlier, for me, one key marketing tool will be also for bank to work on is about security, for the personal data and so on, regarding all the big players from the tech scene. Bank industry is going fast into the digital world. Most of, I don't know if it's the case in Slovakia, but most of the people in France now manage finances through mobile applications on their phone directly. They don't go that much to branches. So the bank industry is going faster and faster. You also have new regulation that's going to open the market and change also the landscape, because that's going to open the market and the landscape for new players from fintech and new startup. And that's where also most of the, I would say, all the banks around the world have big programs to work with startups and to make partnership with fintechs. So then they go faster on innovation, because we know all the process for big institutions sometimes is kind of slow. So that's why they should focus on startup partnership also to speed up their innovation and innovative program. but I'm pretty confident, and I'm pretty sure it works also on the long term through partnership, even maybe with big players from the Silicon Valley or from China and so on, which is the case for PF, I think, in China.
Yes, but regarding banks, it's not so easy to go very fast because we have a big issue in terms of compliance, laundering, for example. And so, of course, it's nice to see a lot of startups with it's easy to pay with my mobile and so on. But we have to play with compliance, and the compliance is at a very high level today. And we saw, and coming from the United States, for example, you know that it was very difficult for BNP PARIBAS three years ago because we did business with a country, it was not in dollar and euro. Everything is really complicated, and so be careful with compliance. And we would like to go faster, but sometimes we just have to follow rules, and the rules are really high level.
Ak by mal niekto ešte otázku? V tom prípade vo vašich otázkach a diskusiách môžeme pokračovať v rámci obeda, ktorý máme pre vás pripravený v Riverbank restaurant. Keď neviete, kde to je, naše asistentky vás tam dovedú. A zároveň, ak ste parkovali, ešte taká technická otázka, ak ste parkovali v garáži, tak si necháte iba potvrdiť kartičku na recepcii.